Hi, it's Steve. Today we'd like to show you how to change the circulating pump on your dishwasher. It's a really easy job. Let me show you how we do it. Now to change this part, you will need to pull the dishwasher out of the cabinets. So we'll begin by turning off the power. So locate the electrical panel, turn off the appropriate breaker or remove the appropriate fuse. Next you'll want to remove the access panel at the bottom, and you're going to disconnect the inlet water supply, disconnect the electrical from that point, and also you'll need to disconnect your drain hose. Now once we've done that, just remove the two mounting tabs at the top of the dishwasher that secure it to the cabinets, and then you can pull the dishwasher out so that we can get at that part. Now that we've removed the dishwasher from the cabinets, we've taken it and stood it completely upside down so that it's a little easier to get at that circulation pump. So our next step will be to remove this small counterweight, just to get that out of the way. It's held in place with two 5/16 hex head screws. So just lift that off and just set it aside. Now, although it is possible to remove that return hose from the side of the pump housing, it's probably better to remove the diverter motor assembly first. Now to do that, we should remove the wire harnesses first. So just release the little locking tabs and then gently pull up on the harness connector to disconnect it. Do the same on the opposite end. Just tuck those harnesses out of the way. Now next we'll need to remove two retaining screws that secure that diverter motor or housing to the pump housing. They're number 15's Torx head screw, so remove both of those. And then we need to release this little locking tab on the side, and then carefully lift up on that assembly. And then we'll remove the shaft and the motor all in one piece. I'll set that aside. Next we'll remove the wire harness to that circulating motor. We need to release that locking tab. Pull the harness away. Now we need to disconnect the hose from the pump body as well as the inlet to the pump, which just fits into a rubber grommet that sits into that plastic housing. So it's just a friction fit and we'll pull out. The hose clamp may be a little bit tight, and you can either cut that off or take a pair of pliers and twist it. Just be careful not to damage the pump housing. You can also use a flat blade screwdriver and just put a little pressure to pry it off. Again, be careful that you don't damage the housing itself. Now that we have the inlet and outlet hoses disconnected on that pump, we need to disengage it from the base of the pump body. And it's held in place with this tab that fits into a rubber grommet. So we're simply going to pull up on that pump housing while pushing back on it, and that should pop it out. The grommet may or may not come with the pump, and it just needs to fit into that opening. At this point we can discard the old pump. Now in installing the new pump onto that housing, we'll begin by fitting that tab on the bottom into that grommet. You may want to just put a little water or liquid dish detergent on that rubber grommet to allow it to slide in easily. Then line up that tab. And just make sure that we don't deform that rubber grommet. and that the pump is pushed firmly into place. Next, we'll line up the inlet and outlets. And with that 90-degree elbow hose, we want to make sure that we turn that connector upward so that we can crimp that on once we have it in place. There's a keyway on that hose. Make sure it fits firmly into that little recess. That the hose is firmly in place. And then you'll need a pair of crimp ring pliers to crimp that retaining clamp. So fit our crimp ring tool over that ring. Make sure we have a good grip on it. Make sure it's centered properly. And crimp it tight. Well, next we'll reconnect the wire harness to that circulation motor. Tuck it into the restraint on the side, and then make sure that the locking tab engages on that connector. Well, next we'll reinstall that diverter motor. We'll take note that the shaft on the end of that has one flat side and then a rib on the opposite side. And we want to make sure that we do not disturb the alignment of that, because it has to fit into a disc inside of the pump that is specifically designed to accept that. So if we line it up with the screw holes, it should drop right into place. If you feel that you have to force that into place, we'll need to take the dishwasher, stand it upright, remove the cover from the inside to replace that disc in the proper spot. Now once the two tabs are lined up with the screw holes, we'll reinstall those retaining screws. We can then reconnect our wire harnesses. Again, make sure that they're pressed on firm and that the locking tabs engage. And then set the counterweight back into position. Install the mounting screws. Tighten those both securely. And then we can stand the dishwasher back upright. Now that we've got the dishwasher back into the cabinets and secured to our countertop, we can reconnect the inlet water supply, reconnect the power, and your repair is complete.